You saw General Clapper just the other day talk about how Iran is actively planning, in advance of having a nuclear weapon, actively planning terrorist attacks here in the United States. Imagine now a nuclear Iran and what they will do to disrupt this country and our allies around the world.
Well, couple that with their proxy wars and the rise of radical Islam in the Middle East, North Africa. I mean, you literally see the surrounding now of Israel. So the question is, and I know it's not, there's no simple answer, how do you stop Iran from becoming nuclear? How do you stop it?
Well, you have a two-pronged approach. Number one, you try to destabilize the government. I mean, you work with pro-democracy movements. You work to weaken their economy. You weaken their hold on power, and you do the best you can.
And they'll clamp down, and they'll start killing civilians.
Yeah, they are. They've clamped down in the past, and we've done nothing about it. We've sort of sat on the sidelines. But that is clear. There's a huge reservoir of pro-American sentiment in Iran. There is a huge reservoir of people. I mean, these are educated folks. This is not a backwoods, tribal type of society. This is not Afghanistan. These are folks who have very well educated, and in fact can organize and do something, I believe, dramatic in turning that government around if they had sufficient support from the United States and the international community. So that's one. Number two, at some point, we have to draw the line in the sand and tell the Iranians that they either open up these facilities, begin to dismantle those facilities, or we will have to dismantle them for them. And that will not be an easy thing to do. It is not something that I believe the Israelis are capable of.
40 or 50 locations?
Right. They have multiple locations.
The Israelis don't even have the airspace to refuel.
Yeah, they're going to need carrier support. And for us to sit back and say, well, maybe we'll just give a wink and a nod and let the Israelis do it, they won't be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And it will not be one strike. They'll have to take out air defenses. I mean, this is a very complex mission.
And they buried these facilities.
Absolutely. They're very hardened sites. Yeah. And we're going to need, bunker busting bombs times whatever to hit those sites, and we may not even be able to penetrate them. I don't know, how sophisticated those air defenses are to protect those sites.
Maybe I'm a realist, maybe I'm a fatalist, I'm not really sure, but when you see them trying to disrupt oil in the Straits of Hormuz, trying to assassinate foreign dignitaries on American soil, saber rattling, funding Hezbollah and terror around the world, I think this is a matter of when it has to be taken out, and whether or not the world acts too late.
You didn't even mention IEDs. I mean, the #1 killer of our troops, manufactured in Iran, people are trained in Iran. Iran has been at war with us for 30 years. They've been killing our troops. They've been killing American civilians. And we have, through multiple administrations, have sort of turned our back and ignored this as they continue. This is, if you remember, back at 9/11. Everyone said, why didn't we connect the dots? Look at what al-Qaeda was doing, poking us, attacking us, and we just didn't respond. Well, here's Iran doing the same thing on a bigger scale, I might add, and certainly much more capability than al-Qaeda will ever have. And what do? We are doing nothing. The president came kicking and screaming to impose sanctions on the Iranian bank and their oil supplies. But he has not been bold and aggressive on this area.
Last question. Yeah. The president, we saw what happened in Egypt. He told us that a democracy would emerge. Well, the Muslim Brotherhood and radical Islamists now are in charge. And now they're apparently going to be giving money to the Muslim Brotherhood, and they're going to expedite that process. On top of the recent news that you have 5 Taliban leaders that are currently held at Gitmo that are now scheduled to be released as part of, quote, what they call in the administration operational steps to further peace talks with the Afghani Taliban. Is that appeasement?
I would say it's appeasement. I would say that the president set the tone in his speech in Cairo, his first international speech, where he said, we don't have a problem with the Islamic world. And I don't have a problem with the Islamic world either, but he was speaking more broadly. He was talking about, I don't have a problem with the folks who are the radicals out there. We can live together, we can work together, we can negotiate together. No, we can't. These are people who do not believe that the United States should exist, do not believe Western civilization should exist, and they will use every attempt to destroy us. And we have a president who is complicit with their growth and power and influence in the Muslim world.
They want a worldwide caliphate.
They want a worldwide caliphate. They want the United States to be, you know, back into isolated and creating a vacuum for them to be able to spread their radical theocracy throughout not just the region but the world. And the presence of the United States is complicit in letting them do that.
Senator, great to see you. Hope you're feeling better.